Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Matt Bragg!
That was great. Thanks a lot. No, it's great. Good to see you. Thank you very much for coming out. And, well, more importantly, well done for parking in Chipping Norton. It's not easy, is it? When I turned up, the last 2 spaces out there were being taken by 1 Range Rover. The anger that I felt, because people do it because they don't want to get their car scratched. Park across 2 spaces. It's never made any sense to me. I mean, I made a right mess of it trying to fit in that half space. Bad, but well worth it though. I mean, to be able to record the special in this building, you know, I'm over the moon about it. It's, you know, it's great, isn't it? It's proper old, over 100 years old, this theatre. It wasn't always a theatre, obviously. Originally, it was a Wetherspoons. It's great what they've done with it, isn't it? It's great. It's going to be fun, this. Give me a cheer if you're drinking tonight. Everybody, love that. It's great. It's the best drug by a mile, isn't it? It's the safest drug, anyway, I found. It's, you can't buy proper drugs now. It's just the Wild West out there. You know, you try and buy proper drugs now. Get that little plastic bag. You've got no idea what's in there. A mate of mine went to hospital last year because he accidentally snorted a spare button. One of the big ones as well. I said to him, you should have had one of the little collar buttons. See how you're feeling half an hour. Yeah. Also, well done for remembering that the show's on. Genuinely, that's good, because that's not given either. Well, I've had that on this tour, because the problem I've got is that I'm not famous. So people buy tickets to see me, right? They see on Instagram or something, they go, oh, that was good, I'll buy a ticket. And they put in their diaries, Matt Bragg, 8 o'clock. And then when the day comes round, they look at the diaries and they go, Matt Bragg. And now they're waiting in for a boiler service. So honestly, thank you for remembering. Touched. The show's about an hour. I think it's important to say that up top. Just so you know, this isn't indefinite, you know. So I don't know about you, that's the main thing that I like to know about a show. I don't care who's in it, I don't care what it's about. I just care about how long it's going to be. Ever since I went to see Titanic, the musical. 3 hours. Don't warn you about that at the start. Honestly, it took that long to get to the sinking. I thought they'd gotten on the wrong boat. Also, the thing is with that, is Titanic the musical. It's a musical. So there's like singing and dancing, and there does come a point when you're watching it where you go, this is really distasteful. It was a disaster. Like, it was really sad. And obviously the tragedy of the whole story is that it could have easily been avoided, you know. We could have just gone for a meal. It is bad. And it's not... Look, I'm not having a go at musical theatre, but I do find it hard to watch, personally. But it's entirely my problem. It's just, whenever I watch musical theatre, all I think is, that's not as hard as doing stand-up. That's all I can think. Because I do think, as far as performing arts go, I think stand-up is the hardest thing to do. You know, I do think that. I'll prove it over the next hour. I don't think there's anything... Like, I've been to the circus before, and I have seen a man juggling multiple petrol chainsaws, and all I could think was, you fucking coward. You know what I mean? I've had loads of bad gigs. He can only ever have one. The hard part's bouncing back. Like, whatever happens tonight, I'll have to do it again tomorrow in Huddersfield. What's he got to do? Buy Velcro shoes. It's a weird musical, Do you know what? I think the problem is, I don't think the Titanic needs a musical. It's interesting enough, isn't it? Like, I went to the Titanic Museum in Belfast. Has anyone been? Yeah. 4 of you, great. It's a wonder they can keep going, really, isn't it? It's a great museum. It's one of those, you know, you walk around and there's different sections to it. You sort of go through the whole bit on the Titanic band and how they played Chopin and Tchaikovsky. I don't know about you, I can't stand covers bands, personally, but... That was the only entertainment for the whole trip. That was it. It's like a 1912 equivalent of having Joe McElderry on a P&O. I'd have jumped off long before the fucking iceberg. I was trying to enjoy it, but whenever I try and go to something like that just for myself for a day off, without fail, I'm surrounded by a school trip. Every time, always, right there, school trip, right on my toes. I'm starting to think I might be on the curriculum. Like, every time, right there. And I'll level with you, I hate kids. Really hate kids, just not for me. Don't see the benefit. And if you are a parent, I respect you totally. Because I couldn't do it. Like, my neighbour's got a kid, and the lengths that she has to go to are frankly unbelievable. Like, every morning, she does the school run. Every morning. Gets this kid, slings it in the back of the car. She drives through wind, rain, snow, you know, through valleys, rivers, through some of the most inhospitable terrain known to man, judging by the size of her fucking car. Why do people do that? It's a massive 4x4 for the school run. It's 30 seconds round the corner. What route are you taking? They all do it, though. Every parent at that school does it. It's all 4x4s, Range Rovers, all that. It's 8:30 every morning. That school looks like the start of a UN summit. 5-year-olds getting out of Trump's motorcade. And it just got me thinking. I'm walking around just kicking kids off my feet around this museum. And I just thought, like, is it just me? Or, historically, have people always hated kids? And it was staring me right in the face in the museum. Whole bit about the lifeboats, right? Titanic lifeboats. Everyone thought it was women and children only, okay? Not true. It was women and children first. So that means ship sinking. Sorry if you've not seen the end of the film. You've had enough time by now. It's going down like that. All the lifeboats are stacked up on the side. All the women and children are getting in the lifeboats. All the dads are stood back, waiting. And then after about 20-odd minutes, all the women and children are in the lifeboats, and they look up to the dads and go, "Are you going to get in?" And they've all gone, "No." No, good luck with the kids, love. I'm going to stay with the boys and watch the band. Fascinating place, that. It's one of those museums, you know, where like you buy your ticket, but then you learn the true cost of the disaster, which is £18.50. It seems like a lot. And I was looking at it, I thought, where is the money going for that? And there was a whole bit by the box office where you buy the tickets. It said that 15% of the money goes towards their sustainability goals because they want to lower their carbon footprint 15% by 2030. And I couldn't believe it. Like, of all places, you want to help the environment, like Titanic Museum. Like, if anyone should be allowed to take revenge on icebergs. Put the heating on, open the windows, fuck them. Show a bit of backbone. I'll tell you what, Just Stop Oil never mentioned that, do they? The death toll that icebergs have had on humans. I thought it was terrible when they went to prison. You know that when Just Stop Oil lot went to prison last year? It was from when they were gluing themselves to the M25 there. And I was actually in the tailbacks to that for 4.5 hours. And I can honestly say, hand on heart, that after that, I felt so inspired. Genuinely, I did. To the point, I went out and I rented an allotment and I bought a load of tools from B&Q. And I thought, yeah, you know what, I'm going to start fracking. Also, while we're on the subject, 1,500 people died in the Titanic disaster. Can we all agree that not every museum needs a gift shop? It's weird. And this is true. You can look at this on Titanic Belfast. You can go to the gift shop. You can buy a rubber duck. Dressed as the captain of the Titanic. Is that not the most distasteful thing? That's not the 9/11 museum selling Jenga. Bit of fun, isn't it? You're fine to laugh at that, by the way. I've done that joke in New York. It's not a problem. There was one girl got up and walked out. Genuinely, it was just saying something about her uncle. I don't know what happened to him. Presumably got stung in a gift shop. I was in Belfast anyway, I was working there. That's why I went to the museum, really, because I was there to do a gig. And I always find that difficult. As an English comedian going over to Northern Ireland, it's always hard, because there's a lot of tension there, a lot of history. And I find that, because like all the tension there, that wasn't me. I don't actually know what happened. So for me, it's just quite confusing, really. Like going to Belfast, for me, it's like, you know when you wake up after a really heavy night out and everyone hates you, but you're not entirely sure why. It's a weird feeling. But I went to this gig anyway, and it was like big music hall, and there was all tables down the front. And against all odds, about 10 minutes in, the gig's going fine. Until there was a table down there, a fella on it with a couple of other people. I got to the end of a joke, and he just went... just like head down on the table. Glasses went everywhere. And I caught in the corner of my eye, just the back of his head. And I looked over and was like, Jesus. So I said to the woman next to him, is he all right? she nudged him and went, fucking hell. So I'm panicking now because I was having a good gig. Momentum's important in comedy. It's just killed it. But I thought, I don't know what to do. So I got the house lights up and I said, is there a doctor in the house? Real bucket list stuff. For both of us. And it just so happened, the most amazing coincidence, there was a table just over this side of 5 nurses who were only there that night because they'd been on strike from the NHS. So they got up, ran over to this guy, started tending to him, put him in the recovery position, got him out to the ambulance. And it transpired later down the line that those 5 nurses, who weren't even meant to be there apart from the strike, saved his life. It's incredible, isn't it? But no, it's very difficult to follow. I'd gone off and was watching in the wings, and I could see them working on him. And I was just sort of going, well, this is all well and good, but I've got to go back on. And I can't really top bringing someone back from the dead. I thought, I don't know what to do here. So I'm not proud of this. It's a very cheap trick. But I thought I'll wait there until the nurses are ready to come back in. And I thought we could come in at the same time and I'll sort of ride the wave that they created. So I waited, saw them coming back in. I ran out and then got all the audience to stand up and boo them for crossing the picket line. Scabs. They know what they did. I'm only joking, they're heroes, they really are. I read an article last week. It said that alcohol costs the NHS £3.2 billion a year. Where are they buying it from? No wonder you can never see a GP, is it? They're having a great time somewhere. That's not fair. You can see a GP now. It's just different. Like, I don't know how it is for you, but all my GP appointments now are online ever since I found him on Facebook. It's the closest I can get. I recommend it to everybody. I go on his profile every day, just go through, look at his pictures, holiday photos. There's loads of them. I've just started commenting with photos of myself now. What do you reckon this is, mate? It's a real problem. I mean, sooner or later, one of us is going to have to go private. It's not going to be me. Not got the insurance for it. I didn't even have life insurance until alarmingly recently. Like, the closest I'd come previously to getting life insurance was about 2 years ago, where I Googled it for 20 minutes. And I had to stop, because when I was looking through the search results, I found out that Kim Kardashian has her arse insured for £2 million. That's ridiculous. But of course, then you can't stop thinking, I wonder if I could get my arse insured. Not for £2 million, obviously. You know, just like third-party fire and theft. You can never be too careful. But looked, and obviously got distracted, so I never got it. And then it was like a year later, I got a cold call from a life insurance company. And the guy asked if I had it, and I said no. Well, I tried to get my arse insured last year. Something about excess. And he said, so you haven't got life insurance? I said, no. And he just went, ooh. So all you'll be leaving behind then are happy memories. I wouldn't have thought so, mate, no. I don't know where you're getting that from. More chance of me leaving behind a Mobo award. £45 a month he wanted as well. That's too much for life insurance, isn't it? I've got 32 years, no claims. I'm not paying £45 a month. I was on the phone for about half an hour, I was just knocking him down. Just kept going, and I got the cheapest life insurance money can buy. If my family want a payout, I'm going to have to die in the most specific set of circumstances. Like £4 a month specific. I hope I go quietly in my sleep. But yeah, family hope I get crushed by an aquarium. I just couldn't bring myself to spend more. Couldn't do it. It's the most boring thing you could spend money on that. And it's also life insurance, I think. It's one of those where the more you think about it, the less sense that it makes. Because basically what you're doing is you're putting a bet on the fact that you'll die. But obviously the problem with that is if you win, you're dead. You don't get any of that money. I thought, surely there's got to be a better way in 2025 to do this. And so I've been racking my brains, and I've come up with a solution. It requires all of us to get on board with this. From now on, what we do, rather than paying for your own life insurance, right, expensive, boring, what we do, everybody takes a ticket. It's got a random name on it. You don't know who it is. And then we all pay for each other's life insurance, right? Like the postcode lottery. Then one day you'll just get a knock at the door and they'll go, Gary's dead. Yeah, someone's knocking at the door, do the theme tune and all that. I think it's got legs, personally. This is great, by the way. Thank you very much again. It's you never know what an audience is going to be like from show to show. You never know. And it's so important. For example, I did some tour support last year for a comedian called Matt Bragg, who's lovely guy, great comedian, American, very handsome. And he asked me to open for him. I'd never seen him before. So I said to my management, have you seen his show before? Because I need to know what the audience is like. And she said, I've seen one of his shows, and 80% of the audience was screaming women who wanted him to take his top off. Shit. I said, well, that sounds awful. And she said, no, don't worry. It'll be fine when you're on. I mean, she was right. They were quiet. Never been asked to take my top off outside of a medical setting before. It was interesting, though, hanging about with someone like that, who's peak fame. We were backstage at one point, it was Leicester Square, and he said, do you want to go and get some food? I said, yeah, that sounds great. So he starts putting on this big jumper, big hat, big sunglasses, and he looked at me and went, are you not going to put anything on? No. And then he said, how will you not get recognised? They call it a gift, Matt. My career does a good job of it normally. Members of my own family that don't recognise me. It's very. But I mean, that's sort of the cross you have to bear. If he's a big Hollywood star because he looks like one, you know. Whereas I don't want to go into all that. I think it's, you know, I don't want to live like that. Which is why this year I went to the dentist for the first time in 14 years. That's because I've got a genuine phobia, by the way, of spending money. Also, I don't trust dentists. Never have, never will. Neither should any of you. It's the one conspiracy theory that I fully believe in, because it's not in a dentist's financial interest for you to have good teeth. They need you to have shit teeth. It's what keeps the lights on for them. So they need you to have shit teeth. Then you've got toothpaste adverts going, 9 out of 10 dentists would recommend this toothpaste. You think, oh, would they? Yeah. Give me the toothpaste recommended by that one whistleblower then. I'm not having it. There's no other body part where if you don't wash it twice a day, it falls off. I have never met a guy in a wheelchair. Oh, what happened, mate? Oh, I fucking ran out of shower gel. Leg's gone. It's a scam, I'm telling you. I had a hole in my tooth, and I still thought, I'm not going to a dentist. I don't want to make this worse. So genuinely, my solution was, I am going to buy a new toothbrush. That'll fix it. Went into Boots, had a little walk around, and electric toothbrushes got very expensive, like 80, 90, 100 quid. And I was sifting through them, and the girl working there came over, and she said, are you looking for anything in particular? And I was like, yeah, you got a used section anywhere? 100 quid for a toothbrush. And I picked one up. This was my favourite one. Oral-B toothbrush. The strapline of it was Oral-B, brush like a pro. Fuck you talking about? A pro what? A pro toothbrusher. The funniest part about that to me is that means there's some people out there who never made it. Professionally. But you might see them out in town after this. They're like pissed up failed footballers. You see them at a bar about 18 pints in going, I could have gone pro, mate. So the game's gone, innit? All the money's in Turkey now. There's a wrist injury in the end. Just semi-pro now. Just floss my mates for a £5. Nothing wrong with being semi-pro at anything, by the way. And I say that as a very proud Banbury United fan. Gonna shock you. That's the first time all tour that's got a cheer. All over Europe I've done that. And it's just been met with people going, who'd he say? But I mean, non-league football, it's the pinnacle of sport as far as I'm concerned. But last season, our goalkeeper broke his elbow and he was laid out. Like, you just got to wait for an ambulance like everyone else. He was there for 8 hours. Stood watching and my mate was going, God, I can't watch this anymore. This is horrible. And I said, yeah, I know. He's going to miss the cup game next week. He went, no, not that. He's supposed to be fit in my kitchen on Monday. You don't get that in the Premier League. It's nowhere near as good. I tell you what, I like all my attacking midfielders to be corgi registered. Something about it. Also, the fans are better as well. It's, you know, we played Stratford-upon-Avon away last season. And I think my point with all of it is, like, you could go to Anfield and hear 45,000 people sing You'll Never Walk Alone. Or you could have gone there and heard 45 people sing Shakespeare is a pedo. What's great is I think half the people doing it are probably in tonight. I love it. Anyway, the upshot of that is I bought a new toothbrush. Didn't fix the hole in my tooth either. Couldn't believe it. It was awful. So in the end, I just gave up and I had to phone the dentist and get booked in for this tooth extortion. And I went in, and he had sort of a dig around in there, and he said, right, either you can have root canal surgery for £2,500, or I can take it out for 200 quid. I said, well, that one. And his disappointment was reflected in the care that he gave. That extraction went on for an hour and 45 minutes. Way too long, that, isn't it? 3 different dentists as well. The first 2 couldn't do it. So we had like this sort of King Arthur sword in the stone situation. Everyone's having a go. This is such a fascinating insight into British politeness, this. That went on for an hour and 45 minutes. My face was down here. Like, just didn't even look like myself anymore. Covered in my own blood, kicking through bits of my own jawbone on the way out. In agony. The worst experience of my entire life. Got to the end of it, didn't complain. Just didn't have that in me. So at the end of it, it was like, you know, at the end of a haircut, when the barber holds the mirror up. It's exactly like that moment when I sat up and just went, yeah, lovely job, mate. Thank you very much. I was walking back to the car going, why didn't you say something? I saw that wasn't right. Then my mate was picking me up outside in his car, which is the last thing you need. So I got in his car and he went, how'd it go? Up and down, mate. He said, I don't get it. Why didn't you just go to Turkey? What do you mean, why didn't I go to Turkey? He said, everyone's going there now to get their teeth done. You've seen them, haven't you, when they come back? And they got like those dinner plates in their mouth. Got no need for teeth like that. Got no desire to be able to chew through cable. Also, my biggest worry with that is if you go out to Turkey to get your teeth done, if that flight home crashed, they'd never identify anybody. You have any idea how confusing that would be for air crash investigation? Be kicking through the debris going, it looks like there's one bloke on this flight. I mean, good job it went down. He had 6,500 teeth. It's great, man. I love it. It's one of my favourite pastimes, and you can have this for free. What I like to do of an afternoon is look at newspaper articles of people that have gone over to Turkey to get their teeth done. But it's all gone wrong. And you get the little photograph where they've just got sort of the nubs left. See? That headline's always the same. I can't believe this happened to me. And underneath it will say something like, Sandra went to Turkey for a full set of new teeth and paid £45 for it. That'll happen, yeah. Because it is cheap. Like, unbeknownst to me, I went on all-inclusive 2 years ago, and the hotel that I booked was linked to a cosmetic surgery place But that is not a relaxing holiday. Although what I will say is if you are sharing a hotel with 400 people who've just had their teeth smashed out, you do get the pick of the buffet. That was great. The rest of it was bleak. Because it's not just teeth. It's hair, eyes, nose, arse, everything. It's like holidaying in a First World War field hospital. It's really miserable. And I spent the whole time on a sun lounger next to this young lad from Nottingham. And he was like proper Love Island, like jacked, tan, abs, everything. Like he had everything. And you just look at, he'd gone over there to have his hairline moved forward by 1/4 of an inch. Like that was the last piece of the puzzle for him. Cunt. It's got all that going on. And you get jealous. I was sat next to it. Bearing in mind, it was an all-inclusive. I was a disgrace on that holiday. Just this sort of pasty, bloated, horrible looking. He looks like a cover of Men's Health. I've just got a baggy T-shirt on round the pool. Like, you know when people try to cover up their barbecue for winter? Horrible little meat-smelling thing. And I got chatting to him a bit more. It turned out he paid for that on finance. All of that jealousy just melted away. I was like, you don't own 15% of your own face. This might look like shit, but it is all mine. I mean, imagine that. One bad month away from having your forehead repossessed. Couldn't do it. I think for me as well, like, with dental work in particular, it's not even the cost. It's just I hate the thought of paying for something that I think I really should be able to do myself. Like with YouTube now, dentistry's doable. I think it is. My granddad did all his own dental work. Whole life. Pot of super glue, pair of pliers, did it all. Well, I could do that. Saved a fortune. And then the more I thought about it, the more I thought I probably couldn't do that, actually. I've not got the pain threshold of a granddad. Like, my granddad was hard. I mean, he fought the Japanese in the Far East. Like, he was hard. That wasn't even in the war. That was a Wagamama's in Norwich, that. Very complicated man. No, he did fight in the war. He did. I don't know why I said that. It's a horrible thing to say. Did fight in the war. To the point, actually, I'm fascinated by both world wars now. Like, I go on battlefield tours and everything. And I've got a girlfriend. It's all because of him. Fascinating. Like, when I leave here tonight, I will be listening to an audiobook written by an ex-soldier. Just absolutely fascinated by it. And I will say at this point as well, I fully support all the forces. You know, Army, Navy, Parcel. Some of them are just for me. I love it. I just find it really cathartic in the car. You know, like driving to and from gigs, it's just nice having that voice going, the devastation, the destruction, the stench. You can't imagine what that's like. You know, and I'm driving back from a gig at a holiday park in Rhyl. Yeah, no, I can actually, yeah. I just watched some of my best jokes die. Yeah, actually, as a mark of respect, the audience gave me 25 minutes silence. Oh, I love it. The problem is, though, I think I'm fascinated by it. My granddad was in it, but the sad thing is he never spoke about it. And I think that's tragic, isn't it? Like, he never, ever spoke about the war. And I think that's because for his generation, there was a real stigma around mental health. And I would argue that now for my generation, there is not enough of a stigma. It's getting a bit weird now, isn't it? I drove past a car yesterday, had a sticker in the back window that just said, autistic child on board. Who's that for? As long as he's not fucking driving. I will make an exception. If there is an autistic child driving, feel free to put the sticker up. That's fine. But otherwise, I just, who cares? The problem is, you get people taking advantage. Like, people... I can tell you this, like, we're all friends here. It is being filmed as well. There's a guy who works for my agent. Right? He is the most work-shy person you have ever met in your entire life. Like, anything to get out of doing some work, he'll just throw one of them out. Oh, sorry, I forgot to send that email. ADHD. Undiagnosed. Yeah. You can't just say that. You might not have it. In which case, you've just forgotten to send an email. You don't need medication, you just need a to-do list. It's everything. There'll always be something. Oh, sorry, I didn't do. Oh, that was my autism. Oh, you know how people used to use star signs? Where they go, oh, sorry, Capricorn. You can't just do that. I think the problem with it is like people take advantage then. And I've got friends who suffer with some of these conditions, and it's like life-limiting. It's really awful. They struggle with it day to day. You can't just say it just to get off the hook. You can't just say you think you've got something, and everyone else has to go, all right, fair enough. Yeah. It doesn't work with any other health condition, that. I mean, you try and go to Disneyland. Go to the front of all the queues going, sorry, excuse me, I've just got a feeling. Excuse me. You can't just do that. And I said to him, like, it's genuine, you're part of the problem. That's why people don't take it seriously now, because you're just taking the piss. And I'm not proud of it. I lost it with him a few weeks ago. And I just said, look, if you think you've got a problem, just go find out. If you need medication, get your medication, take it. It's not a problem, it's fine, but please, for the love of God, sort it, because right now all you're suffering from is being a tedious little cunt. Oh, Tourette's. Undiagnosed. No, we've made some great strides. Well, I mean, mental health, it's great. We've really come along with it. Like, I've been trying to work on my mental health recently, because, I thought it'd be easier than working on the physical side of things. It's actually really difficult. Because the issue we've got now, we've made so much progress. There's so many coping mechanisms now for mental health that it's genuinely giving me anxiety trying to choose which thing to do. And like, you look on some of the websites and it starts off innocently enough. It's like meditation. You go, fair enough, yeah. You go down a bit further. Adult colouring in. Go down a bit further. Ice baths and cold plunges. We've not solved anything here, have we? We've made the symptoms sound like solutions. Like, if you said to someone, how's Kevin's mental health? And they went, oh, Kevin? Well, he's been sat on his own in a bucket of cold water all morning. Right. After that, he's going to have a lie down in a dark room and do some colouring in, probably. Right, Kevin's lost his fucking mind. If he did that 10 years ago, they would have taken his kids off of him. Like, that can't be the benchmark we're all working towards, that. And I'm not saying nothing works either. I think, like therapy, for example, I think that probably works. I can see the merits of talking to someone. It's not something I've ever done personally. I feel like at this stage of my career, paying for someone to listen to me would be a backward step. But I've got friends that go, you know, so I sort of know the ins and outs of what goes on there. And I mean, actually, there's one thing you take away from this evening. So, you know, if you have got a friend who's going through a bit of a rough time, you know, make sure you pick the phone up, just have a chat with them, you know, genuinely. It really, it doesn't have to make you feel better. Mate of mine, marriage is breaking down, boiler's packed up. You know, just him talking about it. It was a weight off my shoulders. I was on the phone for hours. You know what, your fridge is broken as well, is it, mate? Oh, yeah, mine's fine. It's just what you need sometimes, isn't it? That little pick-me-up. It's nice. And I think we're all the same on that front. I think everybody, there's no value in hearing the good. We all want to hear the bad. We all do, whether you admit it or not. It's why I've never understood weddings. Hello? You get a wedding invite, and they always say, this is going to be the happiest day of our lives. I always think, what's that got to do with me? I don't want to see that. Like, if I need cheering up, the last thing that I want to see is the happiest day of someone else's life. So invite me to the worst day of your life. I'll come to that. There's value in that. If you've got a job interview and you shit yourself on the train, I'll be there. Full day as well, not just the evening do, all of it. That's what I want to see. I don't want to, especially not a wedding, because logistically, they're a nightmare now anyway. Because no one gets married in normal wedding venues anymore. All barn weddings. I've been to 6 barn weddings in 2 years. It's to the point where I think I might have actually gone to school with livestock. These are people with no farming background, no agricultural heritage, just getting married in a barn. And I always say to them, like, why? And the answer's always the same. It's just, well, religious weddings are so old-fashioned. You've gone for the barn, have you? Literally where it started. Just got no time for it anymore. The last one that I went to was up in Scotland. And bear in mind, the couple live about 10 minutes away from me down there. And it was in Scotland. Just because they know that they can do that and you'll do it. They can get away with it. And I went up and they had the whole works. They had the whole works. Bagpiper out the front, making a racket. He was the only person I felt any sort of connection with, to be fair. Ultimately, just 2 blokes in a field going... I just couldn't understand what we were doing there. Because it's some barn weddings, they're purpose-built wedding venues. This one was very much still a working farm. Just like mud and shit. There was bridesmaids in high heels in the mud just disappearing as the day went on. Like, what are we doing here? And then we walked across the field to the venue, and it was literally a barn. Just this corrugated tin shithole. And I walked around it, there still was hay coming out everywhere. It's just a barn. I don't know where the animals were at this point. Presumably a function room at the Hilton. And you go in, and they try and do all the things that people do at normal weddings. It doesn't work in that environment. Like, they had a video guest book. And normally, at a nice wedding, at a hotel or whatever, video guest book, not a problem. in this setting, you've got the corrugated tin backdrop, hay bale for you to sit on, and then just a camera on a tripod there. Like you've seen those hostage-taking videos. I mean, it perfectly mirrored how I was feeling. When that couple get that video back, it'll be 45 minutes of people going, best day ever, we love you, have a great honeymoon. And then it'll be me. They're treating me really well. It's such a racket, isn't it? Because that's the thing, you go through all that 15-hour round trip, sit in a shed for a couple of hours, talk to people that you hate for 8 hours, and at the end of it all, you've got to buy them a present. How does that work? But it's not even easy to buy a present anymore. You can't just do it. There's no shops anymore. And you still get those self-righteous people going, don't do your shopping online, support your local high street. You say, oh, fuck off. How do you know where I live? I live in Banbury. You want me to support my local high street? Yeah, what if none of my family vape? If they don't want a Turkish barber or a coffee, it's over for them. It's those little independent cafes as well. They get under my skin, some of them. Just some of them are so far up their own arse, aren't they? There was one I walked past a few weeks ago. They had one of those A-frame chalkboards out the front. Right at the top, it said one coffee, £7. Under that, one coffee, please, £4.80. And then under that, hello, one coffee, please, £3.10. You self-important arseholes. I won't tell you how I ordered, but it cost me 14 quid. It was worth every penny. I am terrible at buying gifts, though. And actually, before I get into this last story, just want to make sure we're all on the same page with how this is going to work. At the end of the show is the end of the show. Like, no encores or anything like that. Don't agree with them. And that's my decision. Doesn't work with any other line of work, that. I mean, if you've got a builder who has to come back after he's finished, he's fucked it up. This comedy is measure twice, cut once, go home. I should know, as well, we got builders in at the minute, because we just bought a house, and we bought a new build from the 70s. It just sounds better, doesn't it? But you still have to get, people in, and you roll the dice with tradespeople, I find. But I think we lucked out with our builder. I think he's the best builder in the country. I love that man. Like, genuinely, right, and I'm not making this up, on the first day, he turned up. Isn't that incredible? Not seen him since, obviously, but he's a good guy, though. I like him. The only thing is, he does always want to be paid in cash, which I will say right now I don't agree with. I declare all my income, all my ticket sales, and I'm proud to say that, in front of all three of you. So, basically, this story starts off, I'm 2 months into my relationship with my girlfriend, and every word of this is true. I want you to bear that in mind. I haven't made any of this up. 2 months into our relationship, her birthday's coming up, and I knew she wanted to go on a city break holiday. So I thought I could knock this out of the park here. I'm going to get us a little holiday, city break, nice. So 8 weeks into our relationship, I took my girlfriend to Auschwitz. Yeah, there's a lot of you looking at me going, why did you do that? And the simple answer is, I'd always wanted to go. I've been to all the other worst camps. I've done it. Been to Sachsenhausen, Bergen-Belsen, Sandy Shores in Rill. Done them all. And I had mates at the time going, you shouldn't do that. Like, that's really weird. And I thought, you can't listen to them. My mate's holiday in Dubai. That's morally fine. If you put Auschwitz or Dubai in front of me, I'm going Auschwitz every time. Both places are built by slaves. What? So at least Auschwitz is under new management. You go to Dubai, like, me going to Auschwitz, my money isn't going in the pocket of the Third Reich, is it? You go to Dubai, you fund some horrible things. Like suppressing political opposition, imprisoning journalists, Manchester City. Really horrible things. And so I thought, I can't listen to that, so I'm going to go with my gut on this one. But I won't tell her. I'll make sure it's a surprise. So we set off to Krakow and got there. You basically, the next morning, it's middle of summer, it's a lovely day, it's like 38 degrees. You get on this minibus for about an hour and a half. We set off towards the camp. The aircon didn't work on the bus either, but you don't feel like you can complain about anything. You can't. So we set off. When we got there, I'll never forget this. She got off the bus, and the first thing she said was, Ben and Rachel's first holiday was to Disneyland. And that shows a lack of confidence in the relationship, to be honest. Anyone could be fun and charming at Disneyland, but I had to work really hard that weekend. And she was saying how, like, Ben and Rachel, they're on the mantelpiece, they got the picture of them on their first holiday outside the front gates at Disneyland. I was like, right, forget that. That's not... No. And we set off, walking, and it's something that everybody should do. Like, it's harrowing, but I think everyone should see it. It's really important, to learn lessons from the past. And we got to the end of it. We're both in tears from what we'd seen. Her from what she'd seen on her birthday. Got to the end, she said, I can't believe you did that. Like, I honestly think that was the worst day of my life. And I said, well, thank you very much for sharing it with me. I'll cherish that. But she said, seriously, no, it was honestly one of the most selfish things anyone's ever done. Like, that was all about you. I got nothing out of this. And I said, well, you can look for a gift shop if you like. She said, honestly, if we're going to have any sort of future together, you're going to have to start doing more normal things. You're like, next year, I said, anywhere you want next year. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? She said, anything normal. I don't know, beach holiday. I said, oh, great. Dunkirk is lovely in July. You have not seen anger until you have seen a woman in a sarong in a bunker. She kicked off on the first morning there. Because I thought, like, treat on me, first morning, bit of breakfast, nice cafe, outside seating area, right on the beach. I had the menu, and this waiter walked out, and I said, right, we'll have day, pay no chocolate, please. She kicked me under the table, and she said, it's not day, it's de. The bread is masculine. Is it really? I mean, you shouldn't assume the bread is anything, really. be very careful. But okay, it's your holiday. We'll have deux. Pay no chocolate, please. And then this is the bit that got me. She called me uncultured for not ordering with the accent. And I said to her, I didn't order with the accent because I don't know how to say it with the accent. I didn't want to come across as offensive. And she said, well, it doesn't matter. Even if you're not sure how to say it with the accent, you should always at least try, because that is the respectful thing to do. When you're in somebody else's country, at least make an effort with their culture, and for once in your life, stop being so embarrassing to be around, because every time we go away, something like this happens, and I'm sick of picking up the pieces for us and going, you met my sister's boyfriend, you didn't even look at him, you were still in the front. I said, all right. From now on, I'll order with the accent. Anyway, that night we went for a Chinese. I mean, I'm not proud of it. Honestly, this has been an absolute joy to come and do this tonight. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting me on this, and I'll hopefully see you on the next one. Thank you very much. Have a safe journey home.